Puddin was on a quest to get all kinds of wildlife pictures today.
400 pictures of bisons.
While driving around, I saw this sign posted. The park was still trying to figure out for sure if they had trapped the correct bear that killed someone recently on a trail. Across from this, in Hayden Valley, we hung out with some more wolf people. The wind was picking up, so I decided to kill some time in my home away from home, the rental car. I finished a book about filming wildlife while waiting to film wildlife. Kind of surreal. If you can't find an animal on the ground at Yellowstone, just look up. Up there I spotted an eagle scanning the land. And those rain clouds were coming in fast, so we decided to go back to the Old Faithful Inn. I thought I'd have a great evening looking out my window until I realized that my view of Old Faithful was blocked by a tree. Story of my life. We awoke the next day and drove north. Along the way, we noticed a big surprise here, a bison. But this one had frost on its head, so we waited for a while for the light to come up. I'm always amazed at how wild animals can handle the extreme heat and cold of being outside all the time. Humans have sure evolved out to be spoiled with all the ways we have to control our temperatures, air conditioning and heating. After a few pictures, I continued up north. There were no animals in sight, so again I was looking up for the birds. But we found this cool little blackbird on the ground. This is a black-billed magpie. These birds are in the crow family, and that tail is about half of its length of the whole bird. These birds are protected here in the US, but up in Canada in certain areas, they still consider them a pest and they are killed. I always love it how humans consider an animal a pest. Have you ever seen a spoiled kid at a toy store? Talk about pests. We were seeing signs about elk, but no elk were in town, so we drove on and took a smaller road, where we instantly saw some mule deer. They blended in very well with the trees around them. After trying to take a few good shots, I continued on a small one-lane road, and around the next corner, something very large was coming up the road. Another bison.
Our trip across this road is going to be a little bit delayed.
I'm gonna get a shot of his feet.
I'm going to put it in reverse.
I was hoping he would move out of the way, but it seemed we would have to share the road. As we slowly and quietly drove past him, we were relieved he didn't see us as something he wanted to push around for a while. I remained calm the whole time, but Puddin, well, she got petrified. Speaking of petrified, we went to see the oldest tree in Yellowstone. Don't even think about stealing the petrified tree, okay? We drove on and into one of the most popular locations in Yellowstone, the Lamar Valley. We weren't too far into the valley when we noticed a big surprise here, a herd of bison. This herd had one with a radio collar on it. Camera traps and radio collars are all ways that we can keep track of what animals are where. Now, the times where unknown amounts of animals roam across the United States is pretty much long gone. We now have a good feel for what lives where. And a big part of that is because of technology like radio collars. I watched this herd and again added to my photo collection of bison. We also spent some time with the wolf people of the Lamar Valley. They had just seen a pack not too long ago, but now that pack was out of scope range. In Yellowstone, when the wildlife just seems to be out of range, keep in mind that there are always a ton of interesting people to talk to.
Hope you enjoyed this episode of Safari Yellowstone. For more information about these animals, read the description below. As always, thanks for watching.